Back on the job at the White House, at least for today, President Biden met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, whose visit to Washington has triggered 2 days of protest in the nation's capital. Christina Coleman is live with the brand new information on this. Christina, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Trace. Yeah, that's right. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris met with Benjamin Netanyahu today. This administration has been calling on Israel and Hamas to reach an agreement on a U.S.-supported three-phase deal to end the war and bring the hostages home.
We feel that we've got to get this hostage deal in place so we can get a ceasefire. There are gaps that remain, and our team continues to work with our counterparts in the region to see if we can't close those gaps.
Meantime, more public condemnation over the anti-Israel protesters who burned U.S. flags, tagged monuments, and clashed with police near the Capitol yesterday while Netanyahu addressed Congress. The White House released a statement calling the actions disgraceful, and in a statement today, VP Kamala Harris said, quote, "Anti-Semitism, hate, and violence of any kind have no place in our nation." But some conservatives say her words ring hollow.
I hear the Vice President's words. I hear Congressman Jeffries' words. They ring hollow. They ring hollow when we've seen an administration that has coddled administrators on college campuses, that denied the Israelis the weapons that they need.
Yeah, bottom line is simply this. They want power, not to protect people.
Axios is reporting that the director of the CIA and Biden's top Middle East advisor will travel next week to meet with the Israeli negotiations team to try and make some progress on a deal to end this war. Trace?
Christina, thank you. Let's bring in political consultant Noah Pollack, and from the Chabad of Bel Air here in Los Angeles, Rabbi Chaim Mentz. Thank you both for coming on. I want to put this up because I just do. I think the picture is worth more than 1,000 words on each side. This is a side-by-side, and you see there the former president, Donald Trump. This is moments after the assassination, of course, the famous picture. And then you see the American flag burning, the Palestinian flags flying here. And Noah Pollack, to you, I mean, this is kind of where America is right now. It really is a definition. We have it on the right-hand side of the screen and the left-hand side. It is a right and left definition.
It is, and it's a question of which way America. On the one side, you see Trump, which is a show of strength and a show of sort of commitment to our traditional ideals. And on the other image is chaos, and it's a chaos that, frankly, Democrats refuse to punish. They do not hold these people accountable. This has been going on now it's not just since October 7th, but frankly since 2020, where people who are violent, these are organized, well-funded, violent political organizations that do this for a living, and they are never held accountable. Nobody gets arrested. Nobody, if they do get arrested, they get sprung out. Nobody serves in jail. And that's an image that we see a lot of these days, and it's an image that is allowed by the Democratic Party.
It really is. Meantime, Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader in the House, says the protesters don't associate with the far left. Watch.
Many of these folks associate with the left wing of your party. Talk about that divide.
It's not clear to me that any of the protesters associate with the left wing of the Democratic Party. That's a factual assumption that is inaccurate.
We had Pramila Jayapal. We have the video to prove that is not. We have their statements, Rabbi. It's just, 100%. It's shameful.
It is 100% shameful, but you got to realize there's an election, and many times Democrats are drones and they'll believe in anything. The reality is, since 2012, we got to go back to 2012, at the Democratic Convention, they did not put God into their platform, and they did not talk about Jerusalem and Israel anywhere in their platform. They had to have a vote. Arab Americans were booing when the vote came out, and you didn't have a 50% vote, that Israel should be part of the Democrat platform. Now we are seeing the slow movement of the Barack Obama case of how America should look at Israel. That's what you see there on the streets right now.
Yeah. Meantime, this is Kamala Harris after meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu.
As I just told Prime Minister Netanyahu, it is time to get this deal done. So to everyone who has been calling for a ceasefire, and to everyone who yearns for peace, I see you and I hear you. Let's get the deal done so we can get a ceasefire to end the war.
One, why is the vice president meeting alone with Benjamin Netanyahu? We still have a president. No, I mean, that's the whole thing. And two, she's given Netanyahu the what for and when to get it done. What about Hamas? What about telling Hamas? What about talking about, okay,
this was a crazy moment because exactly why wasn't President Biden actually, who is still the president of the United States, at least on paper, why wasn't he out saying this and taking this meeting?
Right.
But the main thing, though, is this was Kamala Harris really owning being a progressive on Israel. Her remarks were signaling to progressives that she was going to take it a couple notches even further to the left than Biden has been in terms of the criticism of Israel, the attempts to undermine and delegitimize the war effort. And that was her goal in those remarks. And this has been a common thing of they blame Israel for things. Israel has agreed to this deal. Israel will absolutely do a hostage deal with Hamas. It is Hamas that keeps saying no. They've said no at this point to 8 or 9 different deals. They keep saying no, but then they blame Israel when Hamas says no.
30 seconds, Rabbi.
You just saw the vice president negotiating for Hamas. You just saw it. How? We want the war to end. She didn't go and say, and Hamas has to be destroyed. She is saying just stop the war.
Right.
Maybe we'll get some hostages out. We don't know.
And she's been saying that.
The October surprise will come, but I do know. She just said to Hamas, I got your back. And in 2 years, Israel's going to have to go right back into Gaza.
Yeah. Rabbi Noah Pollack, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.